A few months ago, I had the privilege of taking a trip to the scenic city of Atlanta to celebrate Pesach. While I was there, I had the privilege to meet a gentleman who is a warrior for our people, Mr. David Luben, father of Rose. I want to take you all the way back to the beginning. As a 5-year-old, young Rose became attached to Israel and took her first trip there. This is where it all began.
She was really drawn to Israel at a very young age. And I've told the story many times. When she was 5, she went with her Zadie to Israel, and she didn't want to come back. She wanted to stay there.
When Rose played on the playground and made a new friend, she introduced herself and said, "We could be friends now, but when I'm 18, I'm moving to Israel to serve in the IDF." Just wrap your head around that for a second. Mind you, she's 8 years old.
Overall, she was, just this outgoing, free-spirited. She didn't gossip. It was something that she took to heart, even at a very young age. She would go to kindergarten, and she would walk out of the room if the girls were speaking Lashon Hara. And that was something that carried her through her entire life. She made that one of the most important things for her was that people shouldn't talk about other people.
And one of the things that really appealed to Rose was davening. Every day she'd watch our advisory staff stop whatever they were doing in the middle of the day and go and daven mincha. Whether we were on top of Masada or by the Red Sea, Rose started joining them. As the summer was coming to a close, Rose insightfully realized that she would need to come up with a plan because she recognized that inspiration fades. So Rose got together with one of the most talented advisors we've had, Tamar Weber, and they devised a plan. The plan was every single day, right before Tamar would daven mincha, she would send Rose a text message to remind her to also daven. And every day, for years, Rose and Tamar would daven mincha together.
At this point in the conversation, I chose to ask David how he would describe his daughter in one word. It was the perfect word.
That's the way she was. She was unbreakable. Her spirit and her physical presence too. I mean, she looked at life as being always full. Never half full, never half empty. It was always full. She woke up every day realizing there was something you could do to make it a better world.
It was October 7th, and Rose was spending Simchas Torah with a family on Kibbutz Had, which is literally on the border of Gaza. As the day unfolded, she eventually got called in to go help secure the old city in her unit of Magav.
So it was Simchas Torah, and she started to reach out to us, and she got in touch with her mother and told her that she was in a safe room, there were bombs coming, and that she was safe. And then she called back, like I said, a few hours later and explained that she had her uniform and she had her gun and she was going to fight.
After that, they didn't hear from her for over 12 hours. And at that point, everyone knew what was happening. In the few weeks after, days went by slowly, and it was hard for David and the Luben family to continue their regular lives, knowing that their daughter was serving on the front lines. Fortunately, initially where she was stationed was relatively safe. But then things went sideways. There were 2 attacks, and it started to become one of the more dangerous bases again.
We were like, okay, everybody's been locked down, it's safe. But her base, where she was at, was being attacked. There'd been 2 attacks on her base. So it became very scary.
It was November 6th, and Rose woke up expecting to have a regular day of work. Tragically, a terrorist coming closer to her had other ideas on what that day was going to look like. The unthinkable happened.
New this morning, we have learned a Metro Atlanta woman was killed in a stabbing attack in Jerusalem amid the Israel-Hamas war. And a family is now being touched by tragedy as the ongoing war.
At the funeral of Elisheva Rose Luben, there were 15,000 people there to feel the pain, the suffering that the Luben family was feeling. I want you to picture this: a 20-year-old daughter in a family that was normal the day before that. the rest of their lives completely took a flip.
It was a moment for us that, we were in shock.
I sat here working on this video, holding back tears. We lost such a precious soul that day. But more so, admire the fact that David, Rose's father, isn't turning to hate. Instead, he's running for Senate in Atlanta and working as hard as he can to be stronger and fight anti-Semitism. Rose, we will never forget you. And most importantly, your legacy will forever live on with us.